Hello, my beauty bunch. So today I've got a question for you. Have you ever felt like a fraud? So like at any moment, someone's going to uncover you're not as brilliant, capable, or as talented as they think you are? Well, pop the kettle on because you're in good company. Today's episode is all about shedding those doubtful disguises and embracing your inner glow. And if you want to run in my team, check the show notes for the link to register your interest, or check the show notes for the link to my Instagram. Oh, hello everyone. So today I've got a big old topic. Today I'm unpacking a suitcase full of doubts called imposter syndrome. And trust me, it's something we've all carried around at some point. But guess what? It's time to lighten that load and fill it instead with unshakable self-confidence. So grab a cuppa and let's chat. So imposter syndrome is like that niggling feeling that despite your achievements, you're going to be exposed as a fraud. It's like wearing a designer dress with the price tag still on. You'll think that everyone's going to notice and call you out on it. I've never done that, I promise. In network marketing, where success stories and milestones are always in the spotlight, it's really easy to feel like you're not measuring up and to be hard on yourself. I remember when I was first approached about trying to become a manager at the company, and I thought, crikey, I'll never ever be able to get to manager. I'll never be able to do that. I can't even think of how I'm going to sponsor one person, let alone 6. But here's the thing, those thoughts are just thoughts. They're not truths, because actually 3 months later, I was manager. And so the real truth is that everyone starts somewhere. Everyone has these feelings at some point, and it's about knowing how to deal with them. So how do we combat them? Well, first, by celebrating our achievements. And I don't mean waiting for those big wins, for that manager role, for, that £10,000 team sales, maybe that £1,000 sale, personal sales, or even the £500 or even the £100 personal sales. Instead, celebrate all of it. So your first sale, your first repeat customer, the first time you didn't stumble over your words explaining a product, the first time you sent a message out or a voice note out to someone asking them if they would be interested in trying out some of your amazing products. These moments are your milestones, not the big ones. Start with a win journal. I do this every night. I have a book beside my bed, and before I go to bed every single night, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, 3 things that were my wins for the day, and then my big year goals. And I don't ever look back on them. I just jot them down to keep them in my mind, because it's great to have the gratitude. It's great to celebrate your small wins, and it's great to just reaffirm those big goals in your mind before you go to bed. You start the day in a good way. It might feel silly at first, like you're giving yourself a gold star for just showing up, but trust me, it's a game changer. It shifts your focus from what you haven't done to all that you have, because we are so focused on beating ourselves up. Oh, I didn't do this today and it was on my list to do, or oh, I haven't done X amount of sales, or oh, I didn't do the reach outs, or oh, I didn't get any Pampers booked in. But what you're not celebrating is that you actually sent 10 messages out or 10 voice notes out inviting hosts to have a pamper experience, and that they just haven't got back to you yet. You might have given out 5 sample boxes to potential customers who are currently trying that product at home and thinking, oh my God, I've got to get in touch with so-and-so to make my order tomorrow. So all of these small steps will lead to your wins. Now let's talk about embracing your unique value. So you, my dear listener, are a one-of-a-kind blend of experience, talents and quirks. You might be a whiz at creating engaging content. You might have a knack for making customers feel like old friends. These are your superpowers. So you need to ask yourself, what am I bringing to the table? It's not about being the best. It's about being uniquely you. And remember, in a world of carbon copies and Instagram and TikTok filters, authenticity is your secret weapon. So know what your strengths are and celebrate those and lean into those and use those to your advantage. So next up, I'm going to talk about silencing the inner critic. Now, I have such a nasty inner critic. It's something that I actually have to work on a daily basis. My inner critic is so harsh. I'm constantly putting myself down. I'm constantly saying in my head that I'm not good enough, that I'm not going to amount to anything, that I don't deserve something. And it is, I've done a lot of work on silencing that inner critic. I've had it all my life, always been the same. So we've all got an inner critic, and they like to remind you every time you've ever tripped up. But here's how I quiet that pesky voice. I challenge it. So I've done a lot of self and personal development on this, and every time a negative thought pops up in my head, instead of feeling down about it, which you absolutely do, you feel completely beaten up over your own internal bully, you counter it with 2 positive ones. So it's like a game of mental tennis, but you're guaranteed to win. And that will just train your brain to just quiet down. And another tip is talk to yourself like you would a dear friend. When you hear this inner critic pop up, change the narrative. So like you wouldn't tell your friend they're not good enough, would you? So extend the same kindness to yourself. And then building self-confidence. I mean, it's a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So set small, achievable goals for yourself. And maybe it's reaching out to a certain number of potential clients this week, or learning more about the products that you're not familiar with. Celebrate when you achieve those small goals, and don't beat yourself up if things don't go to plan. Life gets in the way and things crop up. So just reevaluate and reset those. And remember that every misstep is a lesson. It's not a failure. We're all programmed. Think about when you're a child, okay? And I think this was Ariana who said it at the leadership conference. I think it was Ariana anyway. When we're children, we don't get put off by the word no. Can I have a sweet? 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 Yeah, okay, just be quiet. They are relentless. So why as we've grown up and grown older, why has no become such a scary personal rejection word? No is that someone is not aligned with what you are talking about right at that moment. But I always see a no as a not now, or something isn't quite right for them at that point in time. So also, please don't forget self-care. So a relaxed and well cared for you is the most confident self. So whether it's a bubble bath or a walk in the park, make time for the things that recharge your batteries. So in conclusion, imposter syndrome is a bit like a shadow. It's always lurking, but it can't actually stop you from moving forward unless you let it. Remember, you're capable, you're deserving, you're exactly what you need to be. Embrace your journey, celebrate your wins, and keep pushing forward one step at a time. If you found this episode useful, please do me a massive favour and hit the subscribe button. And why not go and find me on Instagram at JustJenniferBeauty. Have a great day.